We are joined by acclaimed director Spike Lee. He has a new movie coming out. Chi-Raq is going to be come out. Now, Spike is going to come out in a few theaters, but it's largely going to be released on Amazon.
No. This is Chi-Raq is Amazon's first theatrical release, so it's going to be in the theaters nationwide before it goes to Amazon Prime.
How long is it going to be in the movie theaters?
Well, it depends if you folks show up.
well, here's the deal. We want to help with that. So right now, folks, we're going to show you the trailer of Chi-Raq. Then we'll come back and talk to Spike Lee. So here we go. Spike, when you dropped that trailer, boy, folk lost their mind. They said that you were just insulting women, and you said, y'all, back up, understand what the whole point is. Please explain.
Well, number one, I think people don't know what a satire is. And number two, Jennifer Hudson is in this film. Jennifer Hudson had her mother and 2 other family members murdered on the south side of Chicago. Why would Jennifer Hudson be in a film that will make fun of the violence in Chicago? There's an organization called Purpose Over Pain that comes out of Father Flaga's church, St. Sabina. These are women whose children have been murdered. 50 of these women in this film. Why would they be in Spike's film that made fun of their children that got murdered also? I not just get off the turnip truck. I've been making movies since 1986. People need to go to my MFN, IMDb, and look at my body of work.
Well, that's to the point. You don't need to all day.
Okay, Spike,
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good morning.
I saw the special that you were in on CNN with Anderson Cooper.
Yes.
And Pastor Flager.
Right.
And watching that, I couldn't help but to think about how we don't hold our communities accountable in terms of, here's a kid, Tyshawn Lee, murdered. And executed in what appeared to be an issue with rival gangs, allegedly. The community isn't coming forward. They know exactly who did it, and they're not coming forward. And I have a problem with the fact that we cry about how police officers follow this blue code and they don't snitch on the officers, their colleagues that do bad things, yet we don't hold ourselves to that same standard. We follow a no snitch code.
Right.
And I have a problem with that. Do you think that's a fair criticism?
I think that's a fair criticism. This goes back to the breakdown of the African American family. There was a time where in Brooklyn, New York, my block, if I messed up, every parent had the right to get me straight.
Right.
Now, grandmom's in the club.
Right.
Grandmother's 36 years old. The whole structure of the African American family has been torn apart, and so there we see this is the result. I mean, a lot of these young people are parents of crack, children of crack parents, and I'm not blaming anybody. It's just that the family structure is responsible for everything we see today.
Have you had a chance to, I mean, I know it's the 4th, so it's only like a week and a half, I guess 2 weeks. Have you done any pre-screenings? What have been some of the reactions to sort of pre-screened audiences?
Oh, people like it. Here's the thing, you know, it's a lot of people judge the film on the 2 minutes and 30-second trailer,
right?
And that's hard to do. And they were off-put by satire. I just like to say, satire has been with us a long time, and this is not the first film in American cinema that's used satire to address very serious subject matter. One of my favorite filmmakers is Stanley Kubrick, and did a film called Dr. Strangelove, which is about a nuclear holocaust, that this planet will be no more. Plus, I mean, it's a very serious subject matter, the end of the earth, God's planet, yet it uses humor. Do the Right Thing is not a satire, but it's a very serious film, and there's a lot of humor. And Do the Right Thing. So I understand people, especially in Chicago, are very sensitive about a New Yorker doing a film about their city.
Spike, a lot of folks also got mad at you, Spike, by going for the name Chi-Raq. Why did you want to use that name as the title of this film?
Well, I did not come up with that name. The term Chiraq, the moniker Chiraq came up. It was local Chicago rappers who came with that title. And I felt that I can't call Chicago because Chicago is like Charles Dickens' novel, Tale of Two Cities. There's one Chicago, and then you got Chiraq. And Chiraq is where the blood on the streets is flowing. We started shooting this film June 1st, and the last day of film was July 9th. From the 1st of June to July 9th, 331 people were wounded and shot in Chiraq, and 65 murdered. And it's escalated since then.
Spike, if I could ask, and I want to return back to the breakdown of the family structure, and I don't want to politicize this at all because I think this is very, very critical. Republicans will say it's because of social welfare programs, which I don't agree with.
Thank you.
Democrats will say that it's because of lack of access and opportunity. What do you think this problem stems from, and how can we fix it? Because I think it's very important.
That's a very good question. I do not have the answer. I do think, speaking to the brothers in the streets in the South Side, they need jobs. You know, these young brothers feel like no one cares about them, no one loves them, they have no hope, they have no future. That's why they're okay if they don't live past 18 years old. So if you don't care about your own life, about your life, you don't care about anybody else. That's the type of person that'll put a gun to the back of Tyshawn Lee's head and pull the trigger twice and then shoot numerous shots in his body.
Hold tight 1 second. We're going to a break, folks. We come back more with Spike